Hey everybody, what's up? It's your host, Master Walrus, back with another episode of Walrus's TCG Dailies. The show where I, Master Walrus 9, come on and play some daily challenges from the TCGs I enjoy. And today's episode of TCG Dailies, we're playing, well, you guessed it, more Pokemon. How original. I'd be down to play some other stuff. Just leave me in the comments an idea of what you want to see. Doesn't even have to have a client. There is multiple methods and a lot of fan-made clients for games. One Piece TCG is personally something I'm a fan of, and I'm considering doing some videos on in the future. But for now, we're just doing some more TCG Live. So taking a look at today's quests, we want to play an item card, super easy, and deal 100 damage to your opponent's Pokemon in a single hit, which is also extremely easy. What I want to actually look at right now, real quick, is a deck I made a little while ago that I want to try and ramp up work with, and that is Tyranitar EX. Now, Tyranitar EX is an interesting deck in that it's got a lot of potential in my eyes. However, when I did make the deck, I was short on resources, and I did not have the Pidgeot EX to make this deck shine. What I'm thinking is I'm going to run a variation on the Charizard EX deck that combines Pidgeot EX and Arceus V and V-Star in order to pump out Tyranitar EX. Now, why do I want to do this? Well, first off, I think that the typing of electric is fairly solid. You're going to be hitting about half the water types, half the normal types. And while they're not as much of a threat at the moment, the fighting type weakness that is imposed on Tyranitar EX also isn't as much of a threat. You just don't see it as often. Second off, being a fighting type, we're going to be able to hit effectively on types weak to fighting if we pair in a good support. And I'm not sure on who I want to hit with that yet, but I'm trying to get some ideas. So, first off, I think 10 fighting energy is fair. I don't think we really need any special energy. And we're going to have to rechange the supporters setup. What I'm going to do for now is just take out everything that is honestly non-necessary. We're going to pump this Tyranitar EX for free. And we're going to look up for the Pidgeot EX. See, since I completed those challenges, did some pack openings, I have a good amount. We're going to run 2 and 2 with the Pidgey. Pidgey's honestly really good with this art. Love the mail carrier Pidgey. Ultimately, it's alright. If we have that much consistency with the quick search, I also don't think Bidoof B-Barrel is needed at this point. What we need to do is then analyze the deck to see what we want. Well, the Tyranitar EX has 2 moves. Mountain Hurl does 120, which discards the top 2 cards of your deck. Or you can do 150 for 2 fighting energy. However, if at least one of your Pokemon on your bench has 1 damage counter, then that is an additional 100 for a net 250, which is overall fairly good damage. And so you want Pokemon that can self-ping. And that's where the deck gets interesting, because how do you force that self-ping without being too dangerous on those, if that makes sense? You don't want a lot of damage. You don't want to put your Pokemon in the active slot where they're primed and ready to be taken out. You want the minimal amount of damage to activate the effect, but you want some damage. And previously, I was running Lucario, I believe the Pokemon. Yeah. It allows you to search your deck for a fighting energy, attach it to it, but you have to put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. And so that's honestly not bad. However, since the inclusion of 151, I'm thinking we're going to go with Dodrio. Dodrio allows you to self-ping for 1, but you get to draw a card, which is ultimately better in my opinion. I do want to run some sort of fighting basic Pokemon, preferably a V, just to get some extra damage and get the fighting type coverage. Now, if we take a look at what we have, there's nothing crazy so far. Galarian Zapdos V is not terrible. And I honestly might go with it, for the simple fact that it costs a colorless less for each of my opponent's Pokemon V in play. So I can cheap it out, and the discarding effect is good. Great Tusk EX isn't bad, because it gets at a lot of damage. It self-pings as well. So I'm thinking we might go there. Decidueye V is alright. I'm a fan of Arcanine V, but it's a big investment Pokemon that if it's taken out, you're in a rough position. Kleavor V has some interesting prospects on it, and being weak to grass helps the deck diversity. Lucario V, personally not in favor of, but Champ V is alright. It works with the same gimmick, so we can get some decent damage out for super cheap, but the issue is that it's not a lot of damage. You get maximum 100 when you do that. Metachamp V is interesting, because you have the potential to take another turn, but it's a big investment ultimately. Urshifu V in the Rapid Strike category. Single Striker Shifu. Tinglu EX isn't terrible. Ursaluna and Zamazenta V. Let's take a look at the Zamazenta real quick. All your fighting type Pokemon take 20 less damage from opponent's VMAX. Which isn't crazy. I mean, it comes in handy at the very end. And Ursaluna V, not a fan because of the Peak Coat. So ultimately what I'm trying to do is get some diversity on my field in order to have some fighting type answers. And the specific reason why I don't want to go with an EX like Koraidon or Great Tusk is because I was thinking it would pair well with the ramp attitude of the Arceus V-Star. But now I'm questioning myself, because I have to ramp the Arceus V-Star also. I think, okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this Kleavor V. Been a fan of the art, but I never had a chance to really use it. I do want to use this Great Tusk EX, but I just am not feeling it. And I think we're going to take Galarian Zapdos V. Those will be 2 Vs we have. We're going to pick up a couple of Arceus. I only have the basic forms of it. Yeah, we're going to run 2 and 2. Ultimately, Arceus isn't a bad Pokemon. I mean, a 200 attack is alright. I really have no problems with it. We're gonna... I don't really want to cut down the energy, So what we're going to do is we are going to check our items for what we want to cut. Rugged helmet, I'm going to cut for now. Some tools could be nice, but ultimately they're not the deciding factor and they're not as big as stadiums. I think I was running them because I was running Arven, and I at least want to maximize the Arven potential by having a searcher for an item. So I'm not just searching for a trainer card in Rare Candy. And I might see what's new in order to replace those aspects. We're not getting the NRC switch at this point. I was running it with Cahoots of the Lucario. We're going to want to keep 4 Rare Candy. Ultimately, that's the thing that needs to be super consistent. We need it for the Pidgeot EX. We need it for the Tyranitar EX. We need 4 Rare Candy. Tyranitar EX has a huge retreat cost, so we are going to run at minimum 2 switch. I'm going to pull the Arven out for now, just because. We're going to keep in 4 Ultra Ball. Ultimately, that's what we're going to need. We're going to keep in Nest Ball over Level Ball due to high HP targets, such as the Arceus V, Zapdos V, and Cleavor V. Iono is really one of the best trainers at this moment. You really can't get better than Iono in many aspects. If you're in the super late game, you should have an engine going to where you can recover from Iono ruining your hand size. But in the early game, you could shut down your opponent's large hand sizes. And it punishes your opponent for getting 2 ahead, which is it's a nice combo. 2 orders. I don't really remember why I was running Serena. I think I want to keep that. I'll keep 1 copy of Research. I might consider dropping the Judge. I don't think Judge has been really that big in this play scene right now. And Path to Peak is honestly what I could cut. Again, I didn't need to worry about Rulebox abilities at that time. But now that I'm running Pidgeot EX, I think I might just keep 1 and throw in 2 stadiums of some other type. I think a double Artizone, or maybe even a triple Artizone, is going to be the correct choice here. Simply on the fact that I want to get a lot of basics out. I'll double Artizone and keep 1 Path to the Peak, so I have a Path to the Peak to just, in case it's needed. What we need now is the ability to search our deck for an item. So again, if you are not ultimately familiar, you can search for a term in the search bar, and it'll bring up card text that appears on that. It has to be direct text. It couldn't be a tag like Single Strike, Rapid Strike, or Ancient. It, like for example, type in an Ancient will bring in Earthen Vessel. Because that is a tag, it's technically not card text. So we're looking for a card that allows us to pull an item, preferably multiple, into our hands. Camping Gear is cool, but I mean, an end to turn is kind of rough. Feather Ball is interesting. I might go with a couple of Feather Ball. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything great in terms of picking up items specifically. And we're good on supporters. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run 2 Feather Ball. because the Pidgeot EX has no retreat cost, meaning it's a target for Feather Ball. It is the only target, but where it's the crutch of the deck, that's going to be a bit more important. I would consider removing it later on, but we're just going to see what happens now. And then I'm also considering a damage pump. We'll toss in a singular damage pump for now, because if we have damage counters on my Tyranitar EX, we can use the damage pump to move it to the bench. It's not going to be as crucial. We should have everything set up to where we'll be fine, but ultimately that's going to help out. Now, I do want to run some DTEs. We don't need much. The deck is ultimately cheap. The Galarian Zapdos V and the Cleaver V are kind of just there as options. And when we have Super Rod, we're going to go down to 7 fighting energy and throw in 3 DTE. And with this, I think the deck runs a bit better than what I had it previously. Just a bit more accessibility and a bit more consistency in what's going on. Now, how's it going to compare to Charizard EX variation? I'm not sure. I'm having a feeling it's not going to be as great, because Charizard EX can get that ramp out with its fire energy, and that's something that Steel type, or not Steel, Fighting type hasn't had much success with, is ramp. They have a lot of good defensive options. Ultimately, we're just going to have to see. So we're playing against Ecoons. Not sure on how that name's supposed to be said. But they won the coin flip. They're going first. They're going with generic sleeves, so it's probably a deck they made. Okay, we got the Larvitar, which is not a bad option on opener. I see Dondozo. That's interesting. So Dondozo Tatsugiri seems to be the theme of the deck. And ultimately, if that is the theme of the deck, it's weak to electric, so we do have an advantage. They DTE, which is not good on our end. That means they're going to be able to kill next turn. Pick up a level ball for a Ralts. They're going to use a Curlia engine in order to trash the Tatsugiri, which makes sense. I'm not sure where I really want to go with this. I'm thinking what I do, and it's going to sound crazy. We're going to Ultra Ball, Serena, and Boss's Orders. We'll be able to get a peek at our Pokemon. 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, and 1. So we should have a Pidgeot EX and a Larvitar on our prize cards. I'm going to pick up the Arceus V. We're going to hit it on the bench, hit with a DTE, and we're going to Yono. I don't know how great their hand was, but it does ruin it up a little bit. We're not in a great position defensively, so we're just going to path to the peak here. End turn. It's not going to help us in the long run, but it's going to be able to shut down the Radiant Greninja unless they have a counter. And you know what, there's the possibility of a counter, but there's also the possibility they don't. That is the inconsistency that comes with trading card games and the statistical variety that happens. So ultimately, you know, as they say, the luck of the draw. So they got one Tatsugiri in the trash. Now, since they are using DTE to double up the energy, they are losing 20 damage. So right now, they're only getting hurt for 30. Which is alright. If they get another Tatsugiri into the trash next turn, that is a KO. But if they don't, they don't. I was expecting a way bigger play on personally. We're going to put down a fighting energy. I think this Larvitar is kind of dead on arrival, and since they're running Pokemon that are low HP compared to the damage Arceus V-Star can pull, I want to start setting up something else, which is going to be the Pidgey. Because if he is able to break the path to the peak, We should have 4 rare candies in deck. It's possible some are prize cards, but we know we have at least one. But we'll have 4 rare candies in deck. And we... Okay, so... Uses ear to Tatsugiri and Ultra Ball. Good combo. So he is going to be able to get the kill with the Larvitar. Anyways. If we can get to Pidgeot EX, then that is going to help our consistency a lot more. Because we'll be able to just grab a card each turn. No limits. So he evolves a Shining Arcana Gardevoir, which is interesting. I personally, and you know, I'm not a pro player, so I don't know if it's the right move. I personally would have kept the Curlia, just so I have that trashing power. Now, it's possible that he didn't have it. Or he doesn't need it, I mean. But, yeah. Ultimately, the game is going to come out to how it comes out. Now, I don't need a... I should have Trinity Nova to that RCSV. I forgot I put that on the bench. That would have set me up very nicely for next time. But he's not going to be able to kill. Even if he got all 4 Tatsugiri into trash, he's going to be able to do 180 at the cap. So he has the 4 Tatsugiri in trash because he has an Ultra Ball in hand. So ultimately, that was a smart play on his end. He goes for the research. Sets up a second route. Does he have the water energy to... Yeah, he does. He's going to need another DTE for next turn because Dondozo's dead. But he's going to be able to kill my Arceus V-Star as well. So, we're in an unfortunate situation. And I was the one who put myself into this unfortunate situation with the path to the peak. Ultimately, you just got to work with what you can. So we're just going to take another prize. And we're going to ramp up the Arceus V-Star so we can keep getting some damage out. Or not the V-Star, but the V. Now, we'll take a prize card. He's going to be able to hit 180. DTE, not where I wanted to go, but it's something, I guess. So, Shining Arcana, super solid hand size. Puts out another Curlia. Now, the Battle VIP Pass is good in this late game because you can't use it, so it's a good target for Ultra Ball, Earthen Vessel, Curlia. And so, while at launch, and I think Battle VIP Pass was Fusion Strike. So, during Fusion Strike, you had 2 primary means of trashing, because Silver Tempest Curlia was not out yet. Okay, unfortunate. We're just in a rough situation. We're going to... We're going to Galarian Zapdos V, because I really don't know where else to go from there. And we're just going to Power Edge. We are going to be able to tank this hit. And we can retreat, potentially fin the deck out to where they deck out. But ultimately, it's not looking great on our end. But this Curlia set was from Silver Tempest. This particular one is a Silver Tempest promo. Pre-release, I think, with the build and battles. With Fusion Strike, your only way to get rid of cards in hand would have been... Okay, this is nice. But we can't work with it, which is unfortunate. Because EX is got an ability, so... We'll go to Pidgeot, because we can work with the Pidgeot more than we can the Tyranitar. We'll need to get a prize card of an... That's not what we need. But I've been going off on this tangent. What I've been meaning to say is that... Okay, Miriam's interesting. You don't see her too much. Gets the Dondozo back into the deck. The Pokemon trading card game doesn't have much in terms of discarding from your hands, besides supporters like Serena or Professor's Research. Your top items at the time were going to be Quick Ball and Ultra Ball, both of which were very good, and you did run it, and it helped boost the accessibility of Battle VIP Pass. Now, Quick Ball is out, but we just got Earthen Vessel, which helps immensely. However, our problem now arises in the issue of... I could have put it, I didn't realize. So I've been making a lot of poor plays. I'll figure it out. I'll get the deck running. Curlia is good, is what I'm trying to say. It helps keep the consistency of not bricking with Battle VIP Pass. Okay, yeah, he prize cards. That's game. So, you know what? Pro on him for running Dondozo box. I think we definitely could have had the game. I just made some super poor moves. And I kind of bricked hard after I Iono'd. Ultimately, I can't afford to have a situation like that occur again. So pass to the peak, you're out. We're going to run another Artizone. Anywho, we'll try this back again. Now in the current game, your targets for discarding cards in hand are going to be Earthen Vessel, which is super good, Ultra Ball, and Curlia. Those are items, so you can use them multiple at your turn, and you don't have to worry about wasting a supporter in order to trash something. So, Battle VIP Pass is a card that is more worth its value than might have been initially thought of during the release of Fusion Strike. But even during Fusion Strike, people ran it like crazy because it's such a good card. If you can fill it in, then you should be running it. So, we're playing against Melfis. It's got the basic fire energy sleeves, and I saw Charizard and the... I forgot what his name was. I don't want to say Avery. That's not Avery. He allows you to search for a Pokemon tool and an item. So I'm pretty sure we're playing against the basic deck. Though I'm not sure about the Bidoof right there. If they adjusted it, they at least didn't adjust their sleeves. So, okay. Changes nothing on my end, really. I don't know how I'm going to open up from here. Featherball's alright. We're going to use Featherball to thin out the deck a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to thin out the deck a little bit using Featherball to pull Pidgeot EX. We're going to attach a basic fighting energy on Duduo, and we're going to Boss's Orders up Charmander. It's quite possible. If he's got Charmeleon, unfortunate on us. If he doesn't, then we're in an alright position. I'm considering the Featherball on what I would want to change with that. So it is Growlithe with the Charizard V to Arcanine EX. Okay. Just being the only target of Pidgeot definitely helps for when we need that Pidgeot. But it being a solitary target also stinks a bit. I love the concept of Featherball. The problem is getting good targets for Featherball. So this is definitely a modified deck. And this deck came out a while ago, so this person's been playing for a while. I don't know why they haven't changed their sleeves. But we are in a super nasty position. I will see what I can draw next turn, but I'm probably going to concede. I really don't like conceding if I can help it. I like to give the game a chance. But this is too fast. Yeah, EXP share, and he's probably got some sort of switch in the deck. We're going to boss's orders to give us one more chance. We're going to pull B-Barrel to the front. This is my second and only boss's order, so I really don't want to waste it. Oh, my goodness. We'll cycle those. We'll research. We'll see what we can get. Again, I don't want to give up. But the match looks not doable. I don't want to waste my time with this if this is the case, you know. Because, yeah, I could stall out the game, but it's really going to be in the same situation of what's occurring. The Feather Ball, we're going to cut. We're going to add a damage pump. Oh, I only have one damage pump? Okay, my rest are like the foil variations. I got a second damage pump, and we are going to add another basic fighting energy. Pulling both Duduo in the opener is kind of crazy, actually. It's statistically low that two of my opening hand would be Duduo. Especially considering there's only two in the deck. The ability to draw a card is going to be super nice. Yes, I would love to go first. Thank you. So, I do think it is worth it more. We'll put in the Zapdos. I do think the Dodrio is worth the space more in this specific deck than like a B-Barrel. Now that I think about it, the deck's interesting because it's birds for the most part. Galarian, Zapdos, bird. Dodrio, bird, and Pidgeot, bird. Okay, so we're playing against a Galarian Moltres V. This is probably Roaring Moon EX, which is unfortunate on our end. But we do have a decent setup, ultimately. I want to get the Pidgey sooner than later. And we're just going to set up like this. Next turn, we can force the Galarian Moltres up with boss's orders, DTE onto Galarian Zapdos, and since there's a V in play, we technically have the cost reduced. We're only going to hit for 150, but damage is damage. They run Battle VIP Pass. Probably going to pick up two Roaring Moon EX. Roaring Moon and a Squawkabilly. Makes sense. I'm almost considering running Squawkabilly. He gets the power capsule on Artizone. Probably pick up... No target. Interesting. Golden Dark Energy. Very flashy. Very nice. Free Golden Dark Energy. So, this is Corey1137. This person's probably been playing for a while. If that's the case. Swaps out Artizone for Pokestop, which is actually unfortunate on my end. Dark Patch. This is not good. 4 Steel Stone. I don't believe he's used his supporter for the turn, so he's probably going to pick up Professor Sada's Vitality and get that final Dark Energy onto the Roaring Moon EX and insta-kill my Galarian Zapdos. Because he has no energy attached to the Morpeko, he can retreat for free. Oh my goodness. Like, give me a break, man. I know I'm playing ranked. I guess, yeah, but it's... I've not been having any consistency or luck with this. So he didn't Pokestop yet. Triple trash, which is alright. This is either a person who's got a good amount of money to purchase codes, or they've got a lot of experience into the game. Yeah, and there's the instant kill, and I don't have anything to remove items, so it's unfortunate. He didn't even have to do the insta kill, since there was a stadium in play. We'll hit the Dodrio. Here I thought I had something good going on. I thought I had a plan. I thought I had something. And then I absolutely get destroyed in this aspect. It sucks. We're gonna DTE. We'll force out, I don't know, Moltres, I guess. We're just gonna end turn. I don't know what's up with the deck and why I am kind of just failing as hard as I am. If I'm being honest. The deck's alright. I don't think there's a reason for it to be this bad. Is it because I'm not running Battle VIP Pass? I can't get the stuff out fast enough? Well, I'm running 4 Nest Balls into Artizone. I got 4 Ultra Balls. I think I've just been unlucky. And... I don't know, it just sucks. It just sucks. And I don't know what else to say besides it sucks. Because it does. So waiting for some moves. Yeah, force the Pidgeot. I'm done. I'm just gonna concede at this point. I got the conditions on, but ultimately this isn't working. I need a deck that's consistent in its engine, and I need to deal with the Roaring Moon EX by preventing effect damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new deck. I know I already did this. Whatever, it's my show. You don't want to watch it, just skip ahead to the next game. But what we're going to look for is effect damage. Or the phrasing is damage by effects. Let me look at the Toedscruel. Prevent all effects of attacks. Now the intention is... The intention might have been that true damage that occurs, but it's also possible that the intention was to prevent poison, situations like that. Roaring Moon EX is also basic, so we can counter by basic, but it's not preventing the damage, it's preventing the effect of it happening. The effect still happens on something like Flying Pikachu V. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Atari EX, not terrible. A little slow. And Pidgeot, that relies on a coin flip. I want consistency. Mewtwo V Union. We're still going to take a lot of damage because of that dark typing. This is only on the evolution. This is only on the evolution. There's nothing good. The only good thing is Toedscruel EX. So do we go back into grass? Is that what it wants me to do? But there's no good grass engine. That's the problem. Grass is a bit slow. When you're comparing it to stuff like Roaring Moon, then you have a bit of trouble. You have to have a lot of investment in order to run a grass engine. And for example, in this grass engine, I need the Cherrim, and previously I did need the Cottony. No, not Cottony. The Edelgast. I need the Edelgast to draw 2 grass energy a turn, and the Cherrim to ramp up that energy. But you can't target rule box Pokemon, so you're limited on that aspect. And then you're going to probably want Grotle to grab your grass Pokemon. So you have your deck essentially built for you. The question is, what do you run in as your target on your grass Pokemon? And in this case, it's going to be Toedscruel EX. And it sucks a bit because I don't know where else to go from there. Anyways, I want another one of these Toedscruel into the deck. I've got cards. I got tokens. We'll change this out. I'm gonna want another one of these into the deck as well. 12 energy is the money point, I guess is the way to put it. I feel fresh when I'm at 12. So then the question becomes what I remove. I want to keep Avery to reduce size. I think ultimately I can remove any Yono. We want Earthen Vessel. Battle VIP pass is at 4 or it's at none. Unless you're running with a deck that can search out items super easily, like with Mew. It's at 4 or it's at none. It's as simple as that. I think we could toss a Super Rod. Yeah. We're going to try this one out. I've been referring to this one as Grass Me Boyo. If you think you have a better name, feel free to let me know. I am not opposed to changing the name. I'm just checking real quick if there is a Toedscruel box. I thought I remember seeing a box or sleeves of Toedscruel. Yeah, there's sleeves. I don't know why there's no box. That's interesting. And a good grass coin. I like the grass coin from June Leader Rewards. Yeah, we're going to just keep that. There's nothing else that's crazy. We're just going to play another game. It's going to help shut down the Goldango with that bit more of consistency in the Toedscruel, not the EX. I want to try and get a win tonight. I don't know why I'm being placed against level 6, tier 600 Great League opponents. I can get having in between, like, Normal League and Great League. Or any person between 590 or less is thrown into Normal League and you can fight there. So I could be as low on the ladder as possible and fight a 590. Okay, whatever. But I think when you're in Great League with that 600, since you can't go down, you should be only to fight Great League opponents. Maybe it helps get games faster and more consistent, but I don't know. Opening hand sucks ass. We're playing a Rapid Strike deck. I haven't seen a Rapid Strike deck in forever, since like maybe launch. Rapid Strike was a bit iffy. But we're playing against Spinnerol and their Rapid Strike deck. We're going to be able to draw a card, which is nice. Okay, Battle VAP pass. At least it's coming once. And we'll be able to Yono. I think what we're going to do is Battle VIP pass. We'll see what we draw. But we're going to trash 2 cards. Get a Toedscruel out. Grass Energy, Yono. And increase our possibility. Okay, so it's a combo deck with Iron Valiant. Now, I haven't seen any Iron Valiant, so this is interesting. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active slot, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. 2 Psychic and a Colorless does 200. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So this is super interesting because I'm curious as to why are they running Iron Valiant with Rapid Strike. Where does the combo arrive from? Oh, hell no. Do not tell... Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. It's always appreciated as you do. There's Tier 7. Again, if you think I could be doing anything differently, please let me know. Do you want to see me open the Battle Pass at Tier 10, Tier 25? Do you want to see specific decks, or do you want to see a different game in general? Whatever you're feeling, just let me know, and I'll try to work with my best capabilities to satisfy you. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.